Yeah, man. And that don't make when they should go on again. Not going to look 20 years after that. So even if we are okay, we must not exist here. We're not resisting. We didn't come to push it not to exist. We came to interact. Kamaka, the community, and easy. But the link it to other communities, can you all your region? Oh no. If I link, I got your community on the back. I know that. Talk to them. I talk for that big day. I don't need a big thing. Man, only you program. So I'm not going to be shielding them down in hand. I don't want so. Look at what they're preaching, that's why I go for it. You got Revelation. Chapter 14 or around that area. I want us to change the way we make it open and Nibo men. He ain't a told you, no one of them. Conferences in Makai and Hajako, Eastern State Councils, traditional leader, Bishop Obi, I'm sure we never, the keynote. There's a lot of people, a lot of kings there from a boy, from everywhere. When that I was running in those wine, had a physical testimony. When the car then you know nothing. Because I think some couple of weeks ago, right? One girl did me actually about where now Lotta. What they met for twins. One accident. One also. Uma word and a for and more. Me attack to any of these things. Yeah, what you're doing traditional wedding here, you can imagine them when you link to see. Can you go and then one pushing down the pushing? But still, you can't go for one of them will problem. Negotiating, lead you from direct there. 1 billion. Now, I'm not doing it. So, they, here we how, here to one home. And you try to know what is around. Only the difficult issues and bills, and you recall maybe. Why is there an evasive push out and not to do this thing? Again, in schools, is there anything difficult? And I'm also, do you mean I got one year? I told him here, I'm not talking. Please.
I'm not being too pushy, but I think I can give a little answer to your question.
Okay.
In so many situations, you make a proposal on how to do one or two things to make things right. Some people might be willing. As Eze is now, you're making an appeal to him. He's the main person you're making the appeal to. He on his own cannot come out and say, I will do this. He has to meet with people. And then, maybe within him, like he has told you earlier, he has no discriminatory factor or anything holding him to the Omena of maybe previous or Vosu and the rest of it. But he is just a person. It involves the rest of us. So even if you call, okay, take for instance, let's use this as an example. Up one look at this same issue, but look at different one. So he himself cannot just come out and say, I will do it myself. He has to relate with the people he's leading. And if at the end of the day, nobody is giving any response or giving any positive response, he alone can't do anything. But within him, he has resolved within him that he has nothing to do with that distance. So, as regards to your question, there is nothing wrong. Let's put it that way. There is nothing wrong for us to try to correct this issue. But how do we go about correcting this issue? Is alone, like I always say, I see that you are appealing to him to do something. He is not a one-man squad. He can't do things on his own. He needs to consult people before he can make any decision. So the answer to your question, there is nothing that cannot be done. Let's put it that way, there is nothing that cannot be done. But it's to keep on creating that awareness like you have been doing for people to see if they would want to do it or not. But left to him, alone, and maybe some of us here, he has done it on his own. So
As a brief, I'm making a for this message, for taking your time to come to us. I have something to have done today, because we are believing in our family. But because of the message, I just came. So, what I'm saying is that let me remind us, you came from God, from the name of the Lord. And the Bible we are carrying out now says, secret things belong unto the Lord. I think in Deuteronomy 29. It belongs to God. It's only God can reveal to us, or reveal to us, or reveal. It may be something God revealed to us, it may not be one revealed to me. It's why the assignment to give me. I want us to know that there's a woman. This man has been preaching a message, a gospel message, all over, with the husband and family, having 2 daughters. Eventually, the husband died in an accident. And that man is quoting the Bible that God is, except God protects the city or keep the human being, nothing one can do. It is in his Bible, and he went out and died in an accident. Now, the same woman again, one day she started where the husband stops, started preaching the gospel also. In a train, the armed robber confronted her after giving the address. When the woman came back, one day the armed robber came. We are the people you are preaching against in the bus, in the train. What do you want? They said, we are armed robbers. What do you want? He said, nothing. Eventually, he said, we don't need you. They want to kill you. They just pluck out the eyes alive. The woman was without eye. The eye socket was removed. Now the pastor came and said at the door, knock. When he had a knock, she had a knock. Who are you? I am that. Your pastor said no. If there is God, if the woman that preached the gospel, if there is God, I don't think there is any. So go and tell that God you are talking about. Where was God when my husband died? Where was God when the 2 eyes were plucked off? I disbelieve the Bible. I don't think there is God in existence. Eventually, pastor went back on his knees and came back. After many days, pastor, this man says you want to answer the question that this woman said. Answer the question. The man said, that the God now told pastor, go back and tell the woman, where was God when they crucified the Lord on the cross of Calvary? As God was telling the pastor, he was showing him the picture, the arrow, the spear, everything, and even the vinegar that was given on the bitter gourd was given to him. Was tried. The pastor went to the woman, knock at the door again. Who are you? And your pastor said, have God answered my question? He said, yes. So God said, I should ask you, where was God when they crucified Jesus? The woman burst out crying. That night she couldn't sleep again. She wrote to God, and it's God when they crucified Jesus. Maybe if you go to your essence and test, you will then get the story. So what I'm trying to say is that I love your message. It's very good. In your back, I'm representing Umobabije Umonyashi in Sokoba as president and council cabinet. Yeah. We don't have discrimination here. But I believe that in every clan, in every generation, in every situation, there is discrimination. Whatever. It is only God that will answer the question. I will come back again. Moses was discriminated by the 2 brothers and the brother and sister for marrying a woman, an Ethiopian woman. That Ethiopian woman was not Israeli. So So that is number one. Number two, and God said himself, Esau have I hated, and Jacob have I loved. And these were twin brothers. And the same God has said, Esau have I hated, and Jacob have I loved. Was God discriminating? No. He loved this from the same womb. And he was saying it. So, not only that, also in another dispensation, in the time of Nehemiah, the same thing happened. Like we gathered here in Ezra's palace, there were people who gathered when they came back from the exile. When they came back, things happened like that. When those things happened, what they were doing was not, they learned so many abominations from the land of, or maybe the land of Chaldea. They were learning those things. They now begin to practice it. Because teachers told us that there are individual differences. And when you get there, they will learn one or two things, whether good or bad. So when these people came, one man rose up. The nobles kept quiet. They didn't listen. The senior officers kept quiet. They didn't listen. This man get up and took a spear and began to kill, murder those people who were committing maybe the holdup among the sex. So why do you think that these women here, they are not from out? So that's the discrimination. In that discrimination. Now let us come back to the New Generation, New Testament. In the book of Hebrews, in the book of Acts of the Apostles, the same thing happened when the Greeks, the Grecians, the Hebrews, and all of this were discriminated because of sharing food. They say, because we are not this, we are not that. They chose 7 honest men, like you are now. God has chosen you as honest people. Those honest men, 7 of them, they went out and started preaching. We cannot leave all these things and begin to serve tables, begin to do this and that. There are evil everywhere. In my own family, it is there. In everywhere, and that is, unless Satan is eradicated. So eradication of these things is God that can do it. I think he will do it in his time. And it is the times that we get some of the sufferings we are having because of the things. It may be from me, it may be from any other person. Like somebody mentioned here, I said, when we were discussing, I'm the one that we were discussing in my own marriage. Eze was aware. Is I'm not telling lies. For 6 years, getting to 6 years now, I'm not with my wife. Having men and women for me. When did it start? My mother said I should not marry such a person I want to marry. Said no. It's not to sue. It's not to me. Let me say yeah, as you said. Or maybe anything. He said no, I did body. I said to appease her, to obey her. I went and said, Mama, go and look for your place. They started. And I grew up in their place, my mother's place, my mother's home. When the thing happened this way, I tried, I couldn't. I just obey my mother. I married somebody from her place. I didn't know her before. She didn't know me. We came home, my mother and everybody were agree. I carried my people, went there and did everything. Today is not even with me, even with our side. What am I trying to tell us? I'm using myself as an example. What happened? But I believe God can correct it. You see? So what I'm trying to let us know that your campaign is good, and I love it. If I happen to be one of you, I'll be happy. You see? So let us continue preaching this message. God will answer the question. I've said 3 dispensations in the Bible, and it is still happening today. That's my submission on this issue. So I believe that you are saved. But the Lord who has given the message will also carry you through and make you give you whatever, because when you are working for God in obedience, you get the profit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all of you, your contributions, and they've been revealing so much, and we are not surprised, especially because this is our first meeting. And most times when you preach the gospel, people don't repent and that's God. When they go back home, the words will keep coming back to them, playing back, and they get to a point where they will say, oh, I think I have to give it up. But I'd like to implore us to go search for reasons why we should do it, rather than reasons why we shouldn't do it, and we'll definitely get an answer. We already have reasons why we can't do it. It's already there. But why don't we shift to the other side a little to strike a balance? Ask God, why should we do this? And reasons, responses, and answers. It's just because we have not given God the opportunity. We keep saying we can't do it now. It's in the next 20 years. It's in the next 100 years. What if you say, God, okay, we will do it now. Give me reasons why we should. Brother Maneba is a very truthful person, because most people here have been evasive, but he's the one that said, "I get there now. Organ there in the next 20 years," admitting that it is existing. And when an issue or mention about EP as a president, but we said it's not existing. People revolted. People said no, even though you eat and drink with them. The truth is that people still practice it. So the problem I think I'm having here is all of us here, admitting that we are still practicing it is existing. Let's start seeking for solution, rather than saying we shouldn't come back again, we shouldn't continue in this community. But we are also appealing that you give us a second, a third, fourth, fifth chance, opportunity to still come back here. Even if it's one person that we met, even if it means going from village to village, gradually we will definitely penetrate. We won't relent. We have the burden, is placed or not. When Christ wanted to die, as a human being, the human part of him came into play. But the spirit took over. The moment he gave up and said, God, let your will be done. Until we get to the point in our relationship with God, I keep saying it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not. When you get to the point where you say, God, I give up, step in, you realize that the truth will be revealed to you. But when you keep struggling with it, it is very difficult for God to step in. You understand? And when we approached him, we did not say, Eze, we want to see you alone. I say, I try forget with. And that is why, and it is not a mistake that you are the only people here today. We are not disappointed. We are not feeling bad that it's not a full house. No. These are the people God has chosen today to be here in this meeting. We are not there in his power, cannot go to people's houses and pull them. God pulled you, even though you are bereaved at the moment, but you still found reason to be here. So it is the Lord's doing. And we appreciate all of you that are here today, that contributed, that helped us, that blessed us, accepted our message. And we are appealing to Eze. We will not give up. We will still come back again. Give us a second chance. We will call you and you speak to your people. That the people said they will not give up. They will come in a particular day again. Let me give them a date. Let them approve of a date for us. It doesn't matter if they come or not. The people God has chosen will come. Just like you said, 7 men God chose them. God has chosen us. God will also choose people in this community. Everybody will not agree at the same time. Everybody will not see the light and the truth at the same time. It is a gradual thing. As you see it, ponder over it. Discuss it with your brother. Dump the reasons we already know that we cannot do it. I'm summarizing, but let me tell you one thing about people like here, Brother Maku, trying to do this. My brother cited an example about a young lady that died. But let me tell you, in Uguta, you schooled in Uguta, if you know Professor Zog, he studied in America. He started this campaign in 1974 to 1976 when he came back from America. And because of the experience he had there as a black man, he said we can't be discriminating against our own color because of what they go through there, over there. So he started going to Ezuguta, all of them, and it was a big abomination for him to ever even speak it out from his mouth. So now that we started, I went to pay him homage as someone who started it far back and say, Nayuku, Oga, God revealed this to me and this is what we've been doing. He sat me down, he shared his experience, his encounters and everything, but sounded one serious warning. Be careful about what you drink, what you eat, who you interact with, where you go to. I said, why? He said, the same experience I had. Okay, my brother pointed it out. And people from Uguta community, as enlightened as we are, went to him that somebody should made the omenala. He told Azogo's mother, say, warn your son, let him stay away. This is just one of the experiences people shared with you. Brother, probably because of a personal encounter with Onyebuosu or a victim. That he will never be free or in way because both people are there perpetrating this evil. And I keep telling you people, God sees in the secret and in the light. He sees, and that is why he sent us. In as much as the smell of the and God sees. So we are appealing to you. Either Alam, Eze, he will have the power to convene another meeting. That is in your hands. We will liaise with you. We'll take another date in September or whenever and come back. We will talk with them on that day. Maybe that day, any new idea may come in. They won't.
E nwere force remote community na nke God of Ogbaku. Ọdụkwado na Ogbaku remote community, e nwere 5 village zones, 5. Ọ ga-adị mma ka kunu gaa ha na zone, campaign na zone. Na-aga ya na zone. Ọdụ na government. Ọdụ gaa na each zone. The chairman, secretary, and the most elder, no full names, not zone. Uno Hapagacha either zone, which is all that was always the own friend. Ya was the motion, they got those young man, they didn't check. Oh, yes, but
we can't go to these people without you, without your so you will lead us to them. Your suggestion, the perfect, sincerely, we accept it, but we are ready to go. But Onyezedika, I told you, you still have the power to speak to them. I keep using Pontius Pilate. You have said your own. You have done your own as the leader, as the head. That's
four autonomous communities in about a plan. These four will not then the organization, have you given them any notice or will I hear? All the and then all over here. Who told you why can you be in particular?
Okay. Here Melo 1. I am all the communities in Igbo land. And this autonomy at their name, there are divided here a lot of clans and communities. The Otago. So I now see people submit names of communities and kings so that we can approach them. And what we usually do, we'll try the Anankegi, and you're one out of the 4. Through you, and we're going to come to that. Inyayi Afaha, na their phone number, we'll call them and say, Biko, so that we can bring you together. All of you together, like the community and Amarago. Yes, there are 4 traditional rulers. Now, Abba community abolition on the 28th of December last year. Or 4 autonomy, they are together. You understand? And abolish the Ezes came together. So, like we said, we have a nature today. So, Eze, through you, we can reach others. We can have meeting with the 4 of you. We can have meeting with the 5 of you. Then bring in the community people too. Any suggestion I say, no to work on your community. Like he said, go to villages, go to clans. We will obey you. So far, no fix the date. We will come sit down, discuss with them. Everybody who obia na kosede. Fight definitely. I pagiden kata ruebo barampe. We will still find a way. I talk why I move forward. Oh, the only thing with them, but let's have the willingness. You will now be convinced within you that you've done your part as a human being and leave God's part for Him.
And the issue on the very uppermost in the activities in the history of the Igbo and so on, the whole thing. We let alone, we can know to I do as important that to me as other issues really fall in the Nigerian setting.
This was what led to it. That we that goes to equity will go with clean hands. If you say discriminatory and inequality is approved by your ancestors and you are practicing it, then their own ancestor told them also that inequality, the Wamma. So they are practicing it. So you can't go to God and say, I subjugate when you're subjugating your own. You understand? Yeah. So when this thing happens, okay, we have what we call big dream. This thing will community by community. After abolition, by Easter next year, by the grace of God, we've started the process. We've started meeting with who is who in Igbo land, whereby the chairman of the Traditional Rulers Council, 5 state Traditional Rulers Council, got come together in Opera Square. Eze will be there too. All of them will gather with who is who in Igbo land. With a call that it will be a homecoming event. The celebration will be huge, and the Igbos will be on the positive limelight that we did this thing. I lead the way in the world that we abolish the caste system, that we will free ourselves from slavery, from enslaving our own, so that we can also be free from slavery. That's the spiritual undertone. Stop then he will not step in to fight for you. But you can't be no, it doesn't work that way. God is a God of justice.
I remember appeal to them with this message that they have interacted with God. And go to teacher very close to God. God Almighty. So right here. Like in again, they know go to which they the Balang thank you for coming. And at the end, you have done my contact is that a promise on time that the whole in furtherance what I give them like this.
Thank you.
Thank you. behalf of our group, I want to say thank you for the opportunity and the acceptance. And because in our manner, anywhere I better like this, I know this is equally. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.